Breaking news. We are satisfied it was the best election ever conducted in Nigeria. MURIC sends appeal message to Joe Biden. Hello guys, welcome back to Prospect Channel TV. Thank you for always coming out here. If you're joining us for the first time, please kindly subscribe and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. The Muslim rights concern MURIC has sent a message to the US President Joe Biden, pleading with him to compare Nigerians demonstrating in front of the White House against the presidential election in Nigeria to cynical, deluded, and fanatical Republicans who continue to believe that Trump won the US elections. This was stated by the MURIC's executive director, Professor Isaac Akintola, in a statement made on Monday in Abuja. Professor Akintola stated that a few misguided Nigerians have staged a protest in front of the White House in the United States of America against the outcome of the election that was held in Nigeria on February 25th. This is not what should have happened, as the elections was the best and most credible that Nigeria has ever had. We request that Joe Biden, the US president, disregard the protesters because they are uninformed. In significant part, the Nigerian election was free and fair. Those who complain about the election are simply aggressive individuals looking to line their own pockets at the expense of other people. Even though our system is not yet flawless, it is neither undemocratic nor cruel. In actuality, it was the best flawlessly run poll ever in Nigeria. According to Daily Post Nigeria, the National Assembly seats were among the sensitive areas where the governing APC lost during the elections, and the party did not win by a landslide. So an election was conducted, and the electoral body has announced the winner. The fact that we have a president-elect is invoidable under all political norms. Therefore, stakeholders are expected to embrace the result, or if not, go to court. My country people, this is really serious. This issue of go to court started with INEC. When INEC told the aggrieved political parties, if they are not comfortable with the result, they can as well go to court and seek redress in court. That was when all this started, and ever since then, it has become a very normal thing in this country that any little thing you go to court. Even the governorship elections that was conducted, you see, most aggrieved political parties that lost at the election, they said, okay, they will go to court to recover their mandate. You see, for the MURIC to come out and tell Nigerians that these elections, the 2023 elections, was the best elections ever conducted in Nigeria, is something I can't quite place my hands on it. Nigerians within the country, those out of the country, are well aware of the fact that these 2023 general elections, the presidential elections, was the worst in the history of Nigeria. We can see for ourselves what happened during the elections day. At the presidential elections, you can even see that immediately after the results were called, and during the governorship elections, you saw the low voter turnout. People were, in fact, felt so reluctant to come out and vote as a result of what happened, in the presidential elections. Even most state governors complained bitterly about this, that people did not really come out to vote at the governorship elections. That was because they lost all faith in the electoral system in this country. They lost all faith in INEC. Now, come to think of it, we saw what happened during the presidential elections. And these presidential elections is so far the worst in Nigerians' history and a setback to the democratic process in our own country, because when we look at how much money that INEC had put into these elections, if we had used that money, we would have used it for a better thing now. We would have used it for a more tangible thing than the money that, in fact, it was just wasted because there was little or nothing that was done in these elections. Yes, INEC brought about the beavers, which was quite okay, and Nigerians were happy with the fact that, okay, the beavers has been introduced and it will reduce, some certain figures during the results. When they are collating the result, it will reduce some certain figures. That now Have we asked ourselves that at the governorship elections, the people were not really complaining that much of rigging? Yes, there was rigging, but then people were not really complaining that much because everything, was going quite well. Yes, some parts they were having some issues, but then the governorship elections, the 2023 gubernatorial elections, was way more better than the presidential elections. The presidential elections was a massive failure, and Mahmoud Yakubu has a lot to say about it. That is why INEC has faced a lot of criticisms over its failure, first, to upload the results of the presidential election from the polling units across the state of the federation to its results viewing portal, the IV, on the elections day. But you saw that on the governorship elections, it was not, there were no technical glitches. Yes, INEC assured Nigerians that they would do better to make sure that what transpired during the presidential election does not repeat itself again. So you see that they know what they are doing. Yes, our politicians, they know what they are doing. And INEC, they know what they have done. Finally, they have taken the vote of the people, and several Nigerians have even come out to protest against this. Mostly, people have called that the INEC chairman should be sacked, the INEC chairman should be persecuted, the INEC chairman should be arrested because he had taken away the votes of the people. So far, so good. It is clear to all well-meaning Nigerians that these elections is the worst in the history of Nigeria. But then some people say otherwise, that in fact these elections was the best elections ever conducted in the history of Nigeria, according to MURIC, as they send appeal message to Mr. Joe Biden, telling him that he should disregard those protesters because they are uninformed, about the presidential elections. However, Nigerians have reacted to this. The APC government became the first party to beg for congratulatory message. Unfortunately, Biden is not Yakubu. Well, gang of criminals will always support their fellow criminals. May God bring heavy judgment upon those enemies of Nigerians. Well, these good-for-nothing criminal groups who are only for APC propaganda with their falsehood. This election is the worst in the history of Nigeria. These political position seekers should have condemned the evil called election before making an appeal. So many mad people in this country. Well, guys, these are reactions from Nigerians, my country people. What are your thoughts concerning this? I'm dropping here, guys. Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you. Bye for now.